Hey everyone! Alright, so continuing on with Amy's top fives, today I'm going to be telling you my top 5 favorite books. Number 5 on my list is a series of books that I'm actually reading right now. I'm actually only on the first book, but I love it so much that I had to include it in this list. But because I'm not done, I decided to make it my number 5, and that is A Song of Ice and Fire by George R.R. Martin. And it is, of course, the series of novels that the Game of Thrones TV series is based upon. I love these, or rather, this book. I haven't gotten to multiple books yet, but I am loving it so far. The way he writes it is different to any other book that I've read, with the points of view changing and it being told through different people's perspectives. It just really, I just find it really different. I haven't had any other books be like that. And I love the series so much that, yeah, I'm just really enjoying this. And it's kind of like Lord of the Rings in that sense. It's a completely made up, alternate world. It's fantastical, it's historical. But I had such a hard time reading Lord of the Rings because it's an older book and the way of talking back then is different to how we talk now, and so I just found it difficult to read Lord of the Rings because of that. And so this sort of allows me to really enjoy the book for what it is, because it's written sort of in a contemporary speech, if that makes sense. I think it's not like a super new book. I want to say it's like in early 90s the first book came out, but nonetheless I love it, and that is my number 5. My number 4 favorite book is actually another series, go figure, and it's the Hunger Games series by Suzanne Collins. I really enjoyed these books. I seen the first film when it came out, and I was really excited to see the second trailer that just came out the other day. Yeah, I really enjoyed these books. I was actually a little bit skeptical at first because how it was explained to me, what the premise of the book is that, you know, children go into an arena and fight to the death. I was just like, that's not going to be something that I'm going to be interested in reading about. But I really enjoyed it. I really like the character of Katniss and her sort of transformation over the series. Yeah, I really enjoyed the whole series, so that's my number 4. My number 3 favorite book is actually a book, not a series, and it is The Other Boleyn Girl by Philippa Gregory. I really love this, as you probably know if you're following my VEDA series, and if you know me at all, that I love all things British monarchy, and The Other Boleyn Girl is set in Tudor England, and it's about, you know, Anne Boleyn and her sister and how they were both, you know, with King Henry VIII, and I just love that whole dynamic because it's taking sort of like a historical event that actually did happen and kind of putting a twist on it, and so yes, I really enjoyed it. She has other books that she has set in the Tudor period, and some that aren't set in the Tudor period, but I've read all of the books that are in the Tudor period and I really enjoyed them all. I just thought her writing style is something that I could really follow along with, and I found that I couldn't put the book down at all, so that is my number 3. My number 2 on my favorite books list is actually another non-series, which is good. It's called Elizabeth, The Struggle for the Throne, and it's by David Starkey. This is actually a biography of Elizabeth I. I really loved hearing her struggle and how she came to the throne in the first place. She really shouldn't have. There was a lot of people in line before her, and the fact that she eventually did become queen is just, you know, miraculous. And the things she had to suffer through, you know, it's just amazing that she was able to get through all of that. And like I really love Elizabeth I and watching like historical shows about her, and so a lot of the shows that I watched actually had David Starkey in it, and he was kind of the narrator, I guess, of the shows. And so when I found this book that he had written about her, I really thought that I would give it a try, and I really enjoyed it. It was historical, like fact, written in a way that didn't feel like I was reading a biography on someone. It just felt like I was reading a story, because it sort of is like her story, but you know what I mean. I just thought it was really well done. So yeah, that's my number 2. And my number 1 on my list of my favorite books is actually another series, and it is, I think, of course, the Harry Potter series. I am a huge fan of all things Harry Potter, and how I actually came about reading the books. I was that girl, you know, in high school that never read any of the books that were assigned for us to read. I always got my friends to read them, because I really hated reading. I just couldn't get into books at all. I couldn't, my attention just wouldn't allow me to really concentrate on a book, and plus I was too focused on other things in high school, but nonetheless, that's another story. But I couldn't get into books, and then when the Harry Potter movies started coming out, I had seen the first 3 films in the theater when they came out, and I loved them. I would, like, when they came out on DVD, I was watching them over and over and over again, and the bonus materials I was watching as well. And then, you know, of course I knew that they were based on a book series, but I was just like, oh, I don't want to read the books, you know, I'll just watch the movies. But because I loved the movies so much, I was like, well, maybe I could read the books, because I can't wait to find out what happens in the movies. I'll have to wait like a whole lot longer if I just watch the movies. So that's what initially kind of got me into like buying the first book. And the first book, although it is definitely geared towards a younger audience, I was immediately drawn in to the world. I mean, the first book and I think the first movie and the second book and the second movie are pretty closely, you know, linked. They're very similar. But I still really, really enjoyed them. I couldn't put them down, and then I was just on to the other books, and really it was the very first time that I could actually sit down and, you know, not want to watch TV instead. You know, like, I really was so into these books that that's literally all I did with my free time, is I just sat down and I read these books. And then when I finished reading them, I sat down and read them again, and then I read them out loud to my husband. I don't think he was too excited about that, but then he kind of got into the story as well, so I read them out loud to him while he like played video games. So like I love them so much, and because I read the Harry Potter series, it made me read all of the other books that I've listed in my list of top 5s. I would have never have read any of those books if I hadn't have read Harry Potter first, and I was looking for like that next great reading experience, because I had so much fun being in that world, and reading them for the first time through was just an amazing experience. And yeah, I'm so glad that I read them, because now I enjoy so many other books that I never would have gotten to read if I hadn't have read the Harry Potter series. So that is my top 5 favorite books. Please let me know what your favorite books are in the comments down below, especially any series type books. I love series, and I'm always looking for new books. Right now, like I said, I'm reading A Song of Ice and Fire, and I'm only on the first book right now, so I have a couple of those books to read. But after that, I'll absolutely be looking for my next, hopefully, series of books to read, so please let me know what you like down below. Other than that, that is it for today, and I will see you tomorrow. All right, bye.